2.7 WMOM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. Chris here with you. We are covering the weather that we talked about earlier in the day today, and we wanted to make sure that you were up to date on what's happening out there. As you might know, we had a tornado watch that went into effect earlier this evening and continues to remain in effect until 3 a.m. We're going to go live on both radio stations here in just a few moments and have our first update for this time period as we go and we remain live with you for the next little bit. As you can see, we have our radar up and we have a couple of radars that we are focusing on. We posted this earlier today, but you're going to see this time lapse. We talked about that this system would start reaching us between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. ish, and that's still on track for that. We were talking with some of the storm chasers across in Wisconsin about an hour ago, and they were talking about some massive wind damage that came through 70-mile-per-hour winds over in the Manitowoc area and the larger swath of Wisconsin. And when we look at this system, we are looking at this moving to a northeastern track across the state. But really, when we zoom far out, you can see that it's all the way through the UP, and we are still seeing some development in the Chicagoland area. TV station that we were able to connect with, the Fox affiliate out of Milwaukee, just a little while ago, was talking about and showing damage, including some semi trailers that had tipped over on their side. Because of the wind that was coming through. So we're going to give you as much information over the next little bit as we can. We have multiple alerts, and so stick with us for as much as you can as we continue our coverage here, both on Mom FM and Hot Country Hits Facebook pages, as well as on the website. And we're going to do our first update here in just a second on WMOM. So stick with us. That's about looks like about 3 minutes away and about 2 minutes away on Hot Country Hits 99.9. As mentioned, we have a tornado watch in effect. And that was on the other side of the lake as well. We were able to gather a lot of data over the last hour of what happened on the other side of Lake Michigan so that we could see what was going to happen as this system transitioned across the lake over into the Ludington area into Manistee. And as you can see, now this is the time lapse that we have right now on your screen. And so I'm gonna back it up just a little bit to where we are at now, which is about 9:17. So let me get there. And if you are at Stearns Beach or other areas across the West Michigan area, and you look out across that lake, you're going to see those dark, gloomy clouds along with a lot of lightning. That was reported on the other side of the lake. It wasn't a ton of rain that was in there. It was a ton of wind and lightning, 70-mile-per-hour winds that were expected. The forecasters throughout the state of Michigan forecasted that the most severe area for tornadoes would be down in the Battle Creek, Kalamazoo, South Haven area. But you can see this system is truly moving its way into the Muskegon area, into Muskegon County, Oceana County, Mason County, all the way up into the Manistee and Benzie County areas here over the next little bit. We expect that this band is going to be it for the night. We are going to see that severity of this storm that comes through. But please note that after we get past 11:30 midnight, things will start to kind of clear up a little bit. So there isn't that second wave that we can worry about. We really need to focus on what we're seeing here. Let me connect with one of our other radars here in a second and give you kind of an idea of what we're looking at on this other option here. So we'll pull that up here in just a second. But Let's stay on this one for a moment, and we'll look down, and you can see that predicted severity will come into that Ludington area, Hamlin Township, in between Manistee, Free Soil Fountain. That's where that darkish pink area that you see on there. And let me pause that to give you an idea of when we're looking at that. Right here, when you see that Manistee down to Ludington, and that's forecasted about 10:30 this evening. If you are at all out on Lake Michigan, which we pray that nobody is, we had a marine warning that went in at 8:21. That expires at 11:15 tonight. And obviously, if you know somebody that's on the lake, you want to make sure that they try to make their way off of Lake Michigan. As we are reporting, we would love to be able to have you share, if you want, where you're at, and as well, any sort of photos that you've taken or any sort of video shots. Certainly, you can post that in the comment section here under our Facebook page. But we are definitely looking at some severe weather. Let's break it down for you. We have 4 total warnings and watches to go over. First of all, that one that is the most severe would be the tornado watch that is in effect. And basically, when you look at Mason County, Manistee County, up into Benzie County, where you see this dark pinkish area, and let me put this back in motion as well. When you look at that dark pink area, that's going to be part of that severe side of that storm that comes in. Now, nobody can say, hey, this is where a tornado is going to be, and that, and so on and so forth. But whenever the National Weather Service issues at the earliest this morning the possibility of tornadoes, we want to make sure that you are ready for this, and you still have the opportunity to get ready. We are looking at this storm really coming in the next 15 to 20 minutes here in the Oceana County area, right here where I'm circling at. Muskegon starting to see that, and then you'll see the northern side of this coming into the Mason County area, then into the Manistee County area, and further points north. We talked about some of the severe sides of this. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and connect with our stations as well, so that we give you coverage on all stations and get you ready for all of this. It is 102.7 WMOM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. Let's go ahead on Hot Country Hits first here and get you connected there. So we're going to do that. I'm just getting our nod from our team that they're going to be ready to do that here in a second. So give us a few minutes there. But let's run over the special marine warning. Those are for those that are out on Lake Michigan or were out on Lake Michigan. We pray that they have made it to the shore and got their boats. I know we're in springtime, and so we're excited to get out on the lake. That special marine warning went in effect at about 8:21. It stays in effect until 11:15 tonight. And then that small craft advisory, which is really where the wind takes place. And let's see what the National Weather Service is calling for there. On average, only about 10 to 20 knots, but gusts up to 30 knots possible. And that's where that 2 to 5 feet of waves will come into place. When they talk about the tornado watch that we are under until 3 a.m., by the way, I don't expect much of that to go after midnight, at least in the forecast models that we've looked at, because when you look at this system, we are seeing that it's going to reach the shores of Lake Michigan, especially in the listening area, into the Mason County area, into the Oceana County, the Manistee County area, and then it'll pass by, and it's moving at a pretty good clip. About an hour ago, it was all completely in the Wisconsin area, and it's already made its way at least the edges of it across Lake Michigan and touching the lakeshore in the area. We are bringing you live coverage here on 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. Let me check in with our team as we want to make sure that we we give you as much coverage as possible, both on air and online. And we want to make sure we do that so that we can keep you abreast of this. We did get from the national, excuse me, from Consumers Energy, both Consumers Energy and as well from the we got from Consumers Energy. There we go. There we go. Now we've got a confirmation. Okay, let's go live on our country station first on Hot Country Hits 99.9. We got a confirmation from Consumers Energy earlier. And let's also bear with us as a second as we also we're about 20 seconds from going up on Mom FM. So we are going to be on YouTube, Facebook, and all of that good stuff to make sure that we're giving you as much detail as possible here. We received messages from Consumers Energy earlier today in regards to their crews. And so let me pass that information on to you right now. It's 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. And it's Mom FM and Hot Country to be able to give you this information about the weather. First of all, the update from Consumers Energy earlier, we received it, and then we got a second update, and the Great Lakes Energy. Because a lot of residents in the area, they have both Consumers and a good portion has Great Lakes Energy. Consumers calling in 500 teams, 500 crew members to come in to cover potential power outages. And we're going to kind of track that as we go along as well. So let me bring our power outage map up and see if there's anything that's really affected at all in our area. Nothing as of yet. The UP is starting to. And so let's, not that that is in our listening area, but when you look at this system, it's already affecting the, as you see, Ironwood area into this Ontonagon and in this area here. And they're already reporting a few thousand without power in both of the counties that we see right here in the corner. So if there's power out there, you can probably expect, and we'll look at sort of that intensity. So not as intense as we're going to see down in our area. And you're seeing that hot pink, which that's the really interesting part of this when that rolls in at about 9:50, 10 o'clock. So we're looking at about 30 minutes before we see really Mason County completely covered, as well as Oceana County there as well. When that happens, we can expect that there will probably be some power outages. As mentioned in the coverage just a little while ago, we had reports and we talked to some of the storm chasers in the Wisconsin area. They were really looking at this system as strong winds, lightning, as you're seeing come across Lake Michigan right now. And we encourage you, if you get a chance, post some of your photos if you're seeing some of that out there, but please don't put yourself in danger, of course, with a system like this. We are, temp wise, it's obviously perfect conditions. You felt that warm, kind of 80-degree feel today, dropping to the 50s this evening. But we've got some additional information. So we now just received from the National Weather Service at just a few minutes ago that a severe thunderstorm warning is now in effect. And that is in effect for from Ottawa County to the south through Mason County. And that is, I'm gonna see if we can get a confirmation if Manistee is included in that. Bear with us here for just a second, and we'll try to get that for you as well. I would assume Manistee is going. Okay, so Manistee is not in that just as of yet, but from Ottawa, Ottawa, Muskegon, Oceana County, Mason County, you are now under a severe thunderstorm warning, as well as that tornado watch. And that is in effect, the severe thunderstorm warning until 10:45 p.m. As with conditions like this, between the thunderstorm and the tornado watch, we want to make sure that uh, do you have your safety kit available? Do you have a flashlight handy? Is your phone charged? Do you have some supplies like water or snacks? Is there a safe spot in the home that you can go? And in fact, are you making sure that your neighbors are taken care of? That to check on them. This is the opportunity within this roughly 30-minute time period that we have in front of us, if that we're expecting the intensity of this system to come through the area, that you want to make sure that you have that checklist covered. We posted online earlier. We were talking about it on the air earlier this morning about this system will impact us tonight, and certainly we're seeing that. Again, power outages already in the UP. Let me go back to that window. We've got a lot to cover, and again, it's starting to expand. So what we're seeing on the screen, and let me put that back in motion for just a second, is not as intense as what they're seeing in the UP and getting power outages already. So we should expect that in our area. Let's pause this at our current time. We'll back this up just a little bit to show you where we are at. So about 9:30. So let me fast forward that just a little bit. So there's 9:30. And we've already got reports of people down at Stearns Beach earlier about the taking videos and photos of the lightning strikes that they could see across Lake Michigan, and you're going to see a lot of lightning with that storm. And we always talk about this whenever there's sort of that atmosphere for a tornado. You'll kind of feel some calmness. You'll see some lightning, that wind change, the temp it changes a bit. And so we're seeing the kind of ideal atmosphere for the National Weather Service to issue that tornado watch for the area. And now, as we mentioned just a few minutes ago, at 9:16, they issued that severe thunderstorm warning. We're just looking to see if there was anything additional that has been issued by the National Weather Service at this time. But that is in effect from Ottawa County up to Mason County. And here's some of the details that has been explained here in this particular warning, including and we mentioned this just a few minutes ago. Those 70-mile-per-hour winds that was reported and confirmed in the Wisconsin area. We talked with some of the storm chasers across the lake. We talked with one of our affiliate friends in TV down in the Milwaukee area. That was about an hour and a half ago. And they confirmed those 70-mile-per-hour winds that they were receiving there, and tipped over some semis. And that was obviously pretty scary for them. And they saw some of that wind damage that came through. You could probably expect that in the listening area with downed tree limbs and some power lines. And as mentioned, we received that information from both Consumers Energy and Great Lakes Energy just a little while ago that they have dispatched crews that are ready to be able to restore that power. But remember this, is that they won't put those bucket trucks up. They won't go up in the air with anything that is 30 to 35 miles per hour or greater, because it puts too much danger in for those crew members. So once those winds start to subside, that's when they can start restoring some of the power, or at least clearing some of the limbs that you'll see with the help from fire crews out there as well. Let's see. I'm going to just check a couple of things as we go. Yeah, couple thousand without power in the UP. Nothing in West Michigan as of yet. Oceana County, Mason County, all looks good. Muskegon County as well in regards to power. One of the things I noticed here with our radar model in just a few moments is you're going to see this start to diminish a little bit in the Muskegon County area. Where again, a lot of it is concentrated into Mason County, Manistee County, going to move into Wexford County. So if you are in a line, basically Muskegon or 96 and north, you're going to see this system. even into the Newaygo County area and Fremont. And we reported this earlier that that window from 8 p.m. till about 11 p.m. is what we're looking at. Anything really after that into the midnight hour, we should be okay. Again, if you're just joining us here on both 102.7 WMOM and Hot Country Hits 99.9, we're both on air on both radio stations as well as on both of our Facebook pages, our Hot Country Hits Facebook page, our Mom FM Facebook page, and our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to that so that we can alert you whenever we go to severe weather like this. If you are just joining us, we have a tornado watch that is in effect for primarily the listening area until 3 a.m. This includes as far south as St. Joe and into the Holland area, Muskegon, and all the way up. We have listeners that are commenting on our Facebook post talking about 55-mile-per-hour wind. Certainly, you're going to see those winds kick up with those gusts as we continue through the evening hours. We had reports of 70-mile-per-hour wind crossed the lake in Wisconsin, in the Manitowoc area, and Milwaukee and those areas. And we're probably going to see that as well. At least the National Weather Service has indicated that. Here's a couple of other details that the Weather Service is making sure that we pass on to you. We want to make sure that you remain alert for possible tornadoes. Tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms. And now that we are under severe thunderstorm warning, we're taking those two alerts and we're putting them together. And that's where the National Weather Service says, okay, the conditions are increasing for the chance that this might happen. And we want to make sure that you're alert of that. If you spot a tornado, go at once into the basement or a small central room in a sturdy structure. So start thinking about that. And obviously you should have probably before this point, but you know, we don't see tornadoes in our area on a regular basis. Obviously, with the Gaylord tornado that happened, that was devastating for them. So it can happen at any time. About a month ago, we had 8 to 10 tornadoes that were spotted throughout the West Michigan and Mid Michigan area. So it can happen at any time. This tornado watch that we are under remains in effect until 3 a.m. And it's pretty much for everything that is down to the border of Michigan and above. A lot of the forecasters were talking about in the Kalamazoo, Benton Harbor, Holland area that it was more of a chance for that tornado. But really, this system has in the last, and we were talking about this in regards to that particular area about it's about 5 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. This has certainly moved more towards the north, as you can see on your screen, and we can see all the way up into the UP there. But look at how much of this has intensified here from basically Grand Traverse County all the way down to the Muskegon County area. This, and I'll give you some timestamps here. Let me fast forward to again where we are at right now, which is 9:37. And so we're going to go to about there. Let's see, about 9:35 there. So you're going to see now that Oceana County primarily it has this system moving through it. You're going to see the southern edges of Mason County, and we'll zoom in right here, and those hot pinks turning into some purples. So we're going to see some really, really intense system come through. And I was waiting for my system to come back. So bear with me for just a second there. Let's make sure that we have that radar come up and give us just a second on that. It is 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. We are both on air online on our Facebook pages and our YouTube channel. I want to give you again some of this coverage that we are reporting, and we're getting. Let's see, our system's coming back with that radar. So let me make sure that we get that on there for you. And and we have okay, so we have a fresh new model there. Let's go ahead and split screen one more time, and we'll do a zoom down into this. This really, when we look at the other side of it, that's the 11 o'clock mark. So you can see that a lot of it, as it passes over land, it's going to kind of squash a little bit, and you'll see some of those gaps. But really, when we are in there's the 945, 950 mark, passing over Fountain, Free Soil, Scottville at that point. And it won't move out of Mason County, Manistee County, or Oceana County until about, we're looking at about just after 11 o'clock. So you're going to have about a full hour of this system once it reaches really the heart of these areas that we are seeing coming through right now with this with system. So we are starting to see. Let's see, we're getting we'll get some there. Some sprinkles falling a little bit. And certainly where you are at, if you want to chime in on our comments on our WMOM Facebook page or our Hot Country Hits Facebook page. But let me give you a quick reset, because there is a lot of information to get over to you. But the first thing I want to start with is this, is that with it being a tornado watch that is in effect, that means that the conditions are ideal for the formation of a tornado. It means that you should be able to, at any given moment, take cover. You should be able to make sure that your family members are close by, your pets are nearby, that anything that you need at a given moment where you can seek shelter within moments, that you do that. That is what we are talking about when we are looking at the conditions that we are under. And the tornado watch is in effect until 3 a.m. Tomorrow morning. Do we expect it to last that long? No, not at all. After by midnight, most of this should expire. I think it's clear that the National Weather Service wanted to make sure that if this slows down, or if there's any sort of tail that comes through this, like you can see right here, let's back that up just a moment. That if there's any tail like this right here, that you can see on your screen, and let me make sure we go over here. That if that happens, and this was earlier at about 8:40, if that were to happen here and right here, where we see that storm system kind of come back around, that would be the alert, that the National Weather Service would say, okay, we need to make sure that this is extended, because there's some buildup coming back, like right about there, and you can see it kind of spark up a little bit from time to time. We have that severe thunderstorm warning that went into effect at 9:16, and it remains in effect until 10:45. That is for every location from, and let me get the most southern city out of this list of cities. Um, that would be Zeeland, Grand Haven, Ferrysburg, that area, all the way north through Muskegon, Walker, Shelby, all the way up to as north as into the Scottville area and Mason County. So this severe thunderstorm warning in effect from Ottawa County all the way up to Mason County. We looked just a little while ago if Manistee County was included in that, and at this time it's not, but it remains that tornado watch right now. And so let me bring up that for just a moment and make sure that we're getting that information out to you for those in the Manistee County area. No, we did just a few minutes ago. Okay, so Manistee is now under that severe thunderstorm warning, just like Mason County, all the way down to Ottawa County. they are remain under that tornado watch that is in effect until 3 a.m. So now we can draw a line from Manistee all the way south for multiple events happening. The tornado watch that went in effect at 8:26 earlier this evening and remains in effect until 3 a.m. And now Manistee County under that severe thunderstorm warning that went in effect about 10 to 12 minutes ago and remains in effect until 10:45 this evening. Now let's see if that matches. It does match the 10:45 mark for the severe thunderstorm warning for the balance of those counties, Mason all the way down to Ottawa County. The tornado watch that's in effect, let's give you some details of that. That extends all the way down to St. Joe. And we were talking a little bit about that earlier, that was more of the concentrated area that they thought that the tornadoes might take place in this particular area. But even where you see some of that diminishing, but from Muskegon all the way up, that has really not let go of what we've seen, including if you look at it just a little bit, you're seeing this build up in this particular area in the Muskegon County area, moving into Oceana County. Here's Newaygo County, Fremont into Mecosta County. You're going to see that extend. And then by the time it gets into Wexford County, let's see, into the Montcalm County here. I've just got to remember some of my counties to the east there. You'll start to see it relax just a little bit. It's dark out. I would assume that we have no boaters out on Lake Michigan at this point, so that's a plus. But we do remain and have that marine warning that is in effect out there as well. Let me try to catch up with some of your comments out there, and I know we're getting some. There we go. We got, I think we've got. Oh, I got to do one thing. I apologize about that for our Mom FM listeners. Thanks for thanks for our team, our engineers, letting us know. All right, so we are giving you some information, and I just want to make sure that we don't get audio overlap. So I apologize to our Mom FM listeners for a couple of minutes there. Let's see what we've got going on. We have a tornado watch, and I think that's a big reason why we are on the air with our extended coverage right now. Both on 102.7 Mom FM, Hot Country Hits 99.9. We have our extended coverage on our YouTube channel and both of our Facebook pages for WMOM and Hot Country Hits. We're starting to see some of those photos. Spectacular when you look at a storm like this with some of that cloud coverage. But on the flip side, you are able to see the front end of it. And a lot of times, or depending on where you're at, you're able to see the other side of this storm that's coming through, especially in the Muskegon County area where there's just a thin line of storms. We have this, and I want to bring down or go down just into the Mason County area. So let's isolate that and we'll go county by county here in just a second. But let's bring it to the 10 o'clock mark because that's where we're fast approaching to. It's 9:47 right now. So at about 9:55, you are seeing this in the Pierre Marquette Township area, the southern side of Mason County. Let's zoom in here as well. You're going to see Scottville see a good part of this here in the next few minutes. Let's see. That's at. Let me back it up. That's 11. So let me. Oh no, I'm sorry about that. That was correct. 9:40, 9:45. Okay. So there's 9:45 where we're seeing the system really there in the Mason County area. Again, Pierre Marquette Township. We're looking at the Pentwater area. We won't see it into Scottville for next few minutes, at least the higher concentration of this system. Let's see what else is affected here at the 9:40 mark. Okay, all the way down, you can draw that line into Shelby and Hart into the Whitehall area, and you can see that there's probably going to be some intense power outages in that particular area. Let's bring that up on our screen and see if we are seeing anything out there. Just a handful of power outages in that area. Not a lot at all, which that's a blessing. So maybe we will see the system pass through and won't be as affected as at least what it looks like in that sense. Let's shoot for 10 minutes into a roughly the 9:55, 10 o'clock mark. Where are things at that point? So by then we're looking at Custer, we're looking at Amber, we're looking at Eldridge, moving into the Nuevo County area, into the Oceana County area. It'll have passed Hart, Shelby. So it's moving at a pretty good clip when you look at this as it has reached the land, reached land. This is a little bit more of an issue for me here. Let's see what the movement of this is into Manistee County. And so, okay, that's a little bit better there. That gap doesn't remain in its place. So as that moves through Manistee County and into Oceana County here, into Wexford County right here, you are seeing that start to kind of relax a bit. Cadillac will see a little bit of this storm, but look at that, right at that 11 o'clock mark, it really starts to fade away. All right, let's see what we've got. We've got another reset on our radar, so bear with me there, and we'll try to get you. We'll try to get that back up and ready for you here on Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. We are both on air and online with our coverage of tonight's storms. We don't see any of these warnings or watches expiring, at least until probably, let me see what we had. It was about 10:30 before it moved out of Mason County, roughly. Let's go back into that. Let's do this one here and see what we've got for time wise. All right. See if we can put that. We'll bring that up. We'll get that back up. Let's see when we expect these to expire. I think that would be another bit of information we want to show you. Yeah, that's probably not. Yeah, we're probably in store for a good 11 o'clock expiration on a lot of these. We will see Muskegon probably clear out first, Oceana County, and then Mason County in regards to this. All right, let's get you up to speed. Bear with me here. Let's do one thing to make sure that we are with you. All right, we are getting reports from multiple locations of those downpours happening. We've obviously called for the lightning. We see that out there. So that mixture of rain and lightning passing through. We've had no reports of any sort of tornadic activity at this point. So that is a plus to know that. We remain under a severe thunderstorm warning. That remains in effect. And let's see what we've. I just want to look at one particular detail before we tell you too many details on that. So let me go here, and I want to look at something. There we go. Oh. All right. So we are now in the expanded coverage area. We are starting to see some of those alerts pass through. You're seeing this in the Ottawa County and Kent County area. That's starting to trigger some alerts. Just a moment ago, Kent County went under a severe thunderstorm warning. And that's where this line of storms all the way from the UP down, and you can see it diminish just after 11 o'clock. I don't think it'll make it until midnight in many areas here in the West Michigan area. I think it will have diminished by then. All right. We have a severe thunderstorm warning, again, from Manistee County all the way down, and this reaches down into now Ottawa County and Kent County and everything above. If you take that two sets of counties and you go up, you're going to see that you remain under severe thunderstorm warning. That tornado watch that went into effect at 8:22 remains in effect until 3 a.m. Friday morning. So the National Weather Service extending that pretty far out. And it's very interesting that they did that, but I don't see that that anything, because we look at, I mean, even this system out here, this might be the Friday system, and look at how that's turning around. We haven't even told you much about this. Is that we are expecting a tremendous amount of wind coming through tomorrow night, and you can see this how it's just banking back for us here in West Michigan. We are and again, you're looking at a time loop all the way to 11 o'clock tonight. But tomorrow, Friday night, we are expecting a lot of strong winds, and that has well, I'm sure we're going to start seeing some of those warnings come through probably tomorrow afternoon, evening. And really, it's not necessarily what we're seeing right here. It's more of just very strong winds. Speaking of those winds, the National Weather Service reporting that these winds are going to be on average about 38 miles per hour that we're seeing outside, with higher gusts up to 55 miles per hour. And some areas will see 70-mile-per-hour winds over the next roughly 90 minutes to 2 hours as the system moves through the area. They are expecting to see penny-size hail. That was another thing that was mentioned when we were talking with some of our partners across the lake in Wisconsin earlier this evening, that they did see quite a bit of hail that fell through in the Manitowoc area, the Milwaukee area, that particular area. And if you look at the trajectory of this, when you look at when we zoom in and see the Manitowoc area here, let me see if we can bring this back. Yep, right here. Let me bring this back to that 8:20 mark, and that's where Manitowoc didn't see as that hot pink area that we see there, but they were reporting quite a bit of strong winds and that penny-sized hail that we are expected or seeing in some of our areas here in West Michigan. But you can see that hit in the Manitowoc area and south, all the way down into the Milwaukee area. And then it's just moving to that northeast track. It's bringing in Muskegon County. It's bringing in Oceana and Mason County. And so you're going to see that throughout the next hour here. Once again, we are on air and online with our live coverage here on 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. We have downpour in regards to rain out there, strong winds and lightning, and that tornado watch remains in effect for the listening area. The National Weather Service issuing that at 8:22 p.m. earlier. They are giving us some additional details in regards to this, making sure that you remain alert for possible tornadoes. Tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms, and that's what we are seeing right now in real time across the listening area. If you spot a tornado, go at once into the basement or a small central room in a sturdy structure, and for your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Now, we're getting some messages and alerts. I want to make sure that we give you as much information as we can here. It is certainly a giant of a storm, not like size, but intensity. And I use that word a lot, but it is when you see those colors that you are seeing across your screen, and you see this particular hot pink area, and even we're seeing even some dark purple hues in there. that those are going to be the areas that we are most worried about when it comes to this. So bear with me here as we continue to lose our radar here and there. But we will get that back here in a second. It is Chris here on 102.7 Mom FM and Hunt Country Hits 99.9. Let's take a moment, catch up with some of our team. And we have Patrick saying lots of energy. Michelle with still with their power there. And it's really interesting because, and let's look at the power grid. Okay, we are starting to see some power outages. So, first of all, let's bring up that radar once again and see what we can continue to share with you on air and online. If you are listening to us on air, we want to make sure that we give you as much detail as possible, because if you do lose power, just know that you are still able to access Mom FM and Hot Country Hits in multiple ways, including our app, which is West Michigan Radio. Make sure you download that from the app, from the Android or iPhone store, as well as WMOM.FM. Just click the play button, or hotcountryhits.com. So we have over the air, online, and we have our Facebook pages that we are streaming at. Currently, the video and the with the radar that you see, and you will see here in a moment back on your screen in a second. So let me bring that back up, and bear with us here as we have quite a bit of resources that we are using to bring you this information. We are both on air and online this evening. We are seeing some power outages. Muskegon County with 4,400 without power right now already. In Ottawa County, about 1,600. Everything north of that, just a handful at this point. So let's look at what is happening currently in Muskegon County to make make those issues for power. So we are at 10 o'clock on the dot right now. And this is what we saw in the last roughly 15 minutes in Muskegon County. You can see right here that purple. That's going to be it's what Ravenna is. Let's see, Ravenna's in there somewhere, right? Wolf Lake, Rothbury, Whitehall, that particular area. That is where some of that high concentration of that system came through in the last 15 minutes, knocking out over 4,400 without power. As we go up, you can see that everything really between Fountain and Free Soil. There's Fountain right there. There's Free Soil. Between that area and the north side of, or there's Manistee right there. So Stronach, that particular gap, not as bad of a system moving through that particular area. But once you get into the city of Manistee, over the last 15 minutes roughly, saw that system. It's going to start moving to Wellston and Brethren, Onekama here in the next couple of minutes, Kelava in that particular area. So just know and be ready if you are in that particular area. Same thing here as we move in the next 15 minutes. Let's put this in motion just a little bit. Now you're seeing that's going to reach into that Custer area and start moving into Lake County here shortly. Let's see when it's going to be in Baldwin and what it will look like at that point. So there is, let me bring up Baldwin. Looks like it's on target for Baldwin. Yep, look at that right there. So at about 11:25, for those that are in the Baldwin area, you're going to see this system reach, if not just a few minutes, in your area. And that's going to be some of the hardest of this system that has moved across Lake Michigan in the last roughly 90 minutes. So make sure that you are aware. Same thing, Fremont, we've passed by that time. We will see that pass into White Cloud by 11:25 or so. But look at the clearing that happens here in the next roughly 70 minutes. you'll see Muskegon County start to clear up, portions of Oceana County, and even a small portion of Mason County before we get to the midnight hour. Let's move to where we will see this at midnight and look at that. Primarily, Mason County will be clear. Oceana County and Muskegon County will be worried just a little bit about Lake County, Newaygo County, up into Wexford County by that time. Let's put this back in motion for you and give you an update here, both on air and online here on Mom FM and Hot Country Hits. Let's see if we can push some resources to that radar so that we can keep that going strong. Let's also get an update on power outages. I could see more power outages happening here. Even right now, where we're at, we're hearing that thunder, and you're probably hearing a bit of that thunder as well where you are at, seeing that lightning and certainly that downpour of rain. Okay, so we have now an extended radar to it was about 12:30, 11. Let's see if we can get it to about 11:30. Okay, let me share that with you and get that shared. Let's see if we can keep those resources going here, both on online and over the air. All right. So if you are tuned into us and you have, and maybe you are without power, you can still listen to us over your cell phone, streaming at our West Michigan radio app or WMOM.FM and click that play button. We have a tornado watch that is in effect until 3 a.m. And that is for, let's see, has expanded now all the way into the Sheboygan County area and down. It's expanded east into Wexford County. So let's give you everything that we've got. It is Benzie County, you're part of that. Manistee County, part of that. And to the south, let's see, we've got a little bit more detail here. Grand Traverse County is in that. I want to see if we have expired Mason, which we might have at this point, but let's see what we've got. The National Weather Service may have expired it. And let's see, severe thunderstorm. No, we do remain under that tornado watch. So the National Weather Service keeping Mason under that, and to the south. So Muskegon, Holland, Grand Haven, Hart, Walker, Shelby, all the way into Hudsonville, Zeeland, Coopersville. Whitehall is in that, Fruitport, Scottville, you name it. In all of those areas remain under that severe thunderstorm warning and the tornado watch that remains in effect. And we're looking at roughly 70-mile-per-hour winds. No, actually, it's been upgraded. 80-mile-per-hour winds now expected throughout the affected area with this thunderstorm. Thanks for tuning in here on Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. It's Chris here with you with on-air and online coverage. Want to make sure that we keep you safe as much as possible. And if we can bring you as much information to help you do that, we will, both on air and online at any time of the day, around the clock. Certainly, we are in the springtime, so we are going to see those springtime storms that pass through, and we are seeing it again this evening. We want you to be aware and to expect that there is going to be some storm in some form. I guess I would say that Friday night we are expecting some high winds, especially towards Friday night. I don't know if necessarily we will see a system like what we're seeing right now, but when we zoom out and we see how far north this system stretches, and then also the back end of it out in North Dakota and South Dakota there. You can see that here. I can kind of see that just spinning around. I would assume by the time we wake up tomorrow morning that we will have reports of some tornadoes out here in the Midwest based on what you're seeing on your screen if you are viewing this online. It is 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. I'm going to just try to reach out to and see what we've got going on in regards to the Facebook here. And Audra says lightning and thunder for sure. I see that out there. And you're probably going to let me switch over to this screen here so we can provide you as much information as possible. We've got multiple. Let me do, and then okay, so we have that there. We're reading some of your comments. You guys stay safe as well. Carl, about 26 minutes ago, was reporting that hail that we've been talking about in the Ludington area. And Jan had mentioned that wind coming hard on Iris Lake off the lake shore. There is the gust of wind, Shannon, same thing, that wind picking up. And for Shannon and Jan and everybody out there, about 30, 45 minutes ago, we were talking 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. The National Weather Service, in just the last few minutes, reporting that has increased at least 10 more miles per hour at 80 miles per hour. So just know that is going to move some things around in your yard. And we have not had any reported tornadoes, at least right at this point. We are seeing that there is coverage. I want to make sure that we look at some of our notifications. We have a scroll that comes up with anything that might be reported from the storm chasers, and we see that again, just damage from strong winds, hail. We're seeing hail size at upwards of 3/4 of an inch. That's some pretty big hail coming through. We saw that report on the other side of Lake Michigan in the Manitowoc area, the Milwaukee area. It didn't stretch as far down as Chicago from the reports that we read and we received, but we are certainly seeing this batch of storms here in our listening area right here across Lake Michigan. So let's bring this storm into the current time right now, which is 10:11. So let me pause and bring it to where we are at right now. And so there's about 10:15, and you can see that's in the Scottville area. Let's see here. So Custer. So yeah, it's moving pretty quickly, but look at how much it is starting to break up a little bit as well. And in the Ludington area, starting to get a lot of that relief. And really, there isn't much behind it. So if you are in the Ludington area, you might see a little bit of a whip from that here. But in no time short, we will see a good clearing. So that is by 11 o'clock, we'll see a majority of Mason County clear of the storm. Oceana County will be clear of it even before that. And just the east side of Muskegon County will see a little bit of a remnant of this storm that's passing through. That's when the full concentration, that full court kind of focuses on, in our listening area, Manistee County. Manistee will see a little bit more of that storm. And when the radar refocuses here, you'll see that Manistee will see a little bit more of that storm in the 11 o'clock hour, roughly. There, that's about Brethren right there. Let's just zoom in. Yeah, Brethren, Kelava, we'll see a bit of that storm still at about 11 p.m. But by 11:30, we should see Manistee County clear up. There you go. Yeah, so the city of Manistee, you should be out of the woods by about 11:30. Again, no reported tornadoes that we are seeing on our ticker here. But that doesn't mean that we don't have anything that has touchdown in the state of Michigan there. So let's do that and go to a full screen here. If you are listening and or watching, we want to make sure that you are not out of the woods. Let's see. Alyssa says, anyone know about Baldwin area and Idlewild? We just covered that just a few moments ago. Just know that Baldwin will see this storm. I think we'd mentioned just about 11 o'clock, but let's revisit that for Lake County there. Let's see when the Baldwin area will see this. Let me bring that radar back in and put that in motion one more time. Okay, so we're gonna go into the Baldwin area and see what we've got there. So let me pause this. And there's Baldwin there. And let's see when Baldwin starts to really see. You're going to see some of that lightning and strong winds at about 10:15. So right about now, we are starting to see that in the Baldwin area, where the full concentration of this will be 10:20, 10:25. By 10:30, the Baldwin area is going to see what Ludington has seen over the last roughly 30 to 40 minutes, Pentwater, Hart in that particular area. So if you're in the Baldwin area, Fremont, let's see, Fremont has that system passing or will pass in the next few minutes. Anybody in the southern part of Lake County here in the next 10 to 15 minutes should be able to be prepared for any sort of seeking of shelter if that is needed in this particular storm that's coming through. It is 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9 as mentioned. And let's do a quick reset for those that might be joining us both on air and online. We have that tornado watch that is in effect and remains in effect until 3 a.m. But I will tell you this, based on the visual of this system, that those will expire prior to 3 a.m. I don't see that where the National Weather Service will keep that anywhere past midnight, unless there is truly something that we're not seeing. But if there's any buildup, we would see, even a little taste of it, I guess, on the other side of the lake. But we're really not seeing that at all. We did connect with a lot of our partners across the lake. Some of the storm chasers that are out there, Fox out of Milwaukee, and they were talking about those strong winds. They had 70-mile-per-hour winds that were reported when this storm was on their side of the lake. Now that it's on our side of the lake, the National Weather Service has upgraded that even more to 80-mile-per-hour winds that we are seeing, and a severe thunderstorm warning that remains in effect for the next roughly 33 minutes. Will expire at 10:45, and I would assume that will start to expire more of the south side of things into the Muskegon County area first, into Oceana County, and move up, I believe. And I know for a fact Manistee County is under that severe thunderstorm warning, but I don't see them expiring at that 10:45 mark. I think they'll probably be under that alert for a little bit longer. Again, a tornado watch in effect, and that's kind of the more the severe side of it. And it's pretty much, I mean, there are so many counties in this, and it reaches all the way down to the edges of the state of Michigan. And you'll see that if we zoom out now that you can see the Chicagoland area, that system passing through there, and there is Benton Harbor and South Haven and Kalamazoo. That's where earlier this afternoon at 4 p.m., 5 p.m., we were talking that there was some potential tornadoes kind of in this swath area right here. If you kind of with my mouse there see that area, but look at how much that has broken up and in that particular area. So I would assume that that's concentration here in mid Michigan and West Michigan, and especially in the northern Michigan area. That's where we are going to be having conversations tomorrow morning in regards to the system. Okay, let's keep things going for a few more minutes here on Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. We appreciate you joining us for this coverage, both on air and online. Let me go into our system here, and we want to, let's see, go here. And if you are seeing anything, well, okay. So Kevin giving us some information about Manistee. It's already dying down there, and let's kind of show you in real time, you know, his thoughts and what it looks like when you compare it to the radar, which is good to see that. Let's go back to we're at roughly 1020 right now. Let's bring us to about 1020. And yeah, see, there you go. That's what we see. This is the real part. Whenever you see this on the radar moving through your area, that hot pink, that dark purple, that's showing that it has moved past that area, and now we're seeing probably even the green area might not even see rain at that point. Maybe a few flickers of lightning. For those in Manistee, Kevin, and those we do have a little bit of portion here that might move past you here in the next little bit. Let's back that up and see what that looks like as it moves through Manistee County. See, and it, yeah, it'll break up a little bit. Everybody's going to be in the clearing here within the next 30 minutes or so as we show you this information. It is Chris here on 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. Let's give you an update on power outages because we saw a lot of those power failures in Muskegon County, but has that expanded? Let's once again bring in that radar, and we will do that. And let's see what we've got for power outages. Okay, we are seeing more. Let's look at Newaygo County right now with 1,000 without power. So let's look at Newaygo. There's Fremont there in Newaygo County. So here's Newaygo County right here. Expecting that probably the power outages would be Fremont and maybe south of that area based on that moving through. Let's see where we are at. There we go. So we can probably expect that most of those power outages, although Fremont, just north of Fremont, saw a little bit of that patch there, Hesperia as well. 1,000 without power in Newaygo County. We've got about 300 now without power in Oceana County. Muskegon County, are you ready for this number? There is 20,000 without power now in Muskegon County. Mason County looks pretty safe. Lake County, same thing. And Manistee County, we're now reporting for 50 without power there. But Muskegon, obviously, with a higher population density there, they're going to have more without power. But certainly, it is a storm that is affecting people. We talked about these details earlier with the power crews. We get messages from both Great Lakes Energy and from Consumers Energy that they were dispatching crews. They had 500 crews on standby to be able to be ready for this. With 70 or 80 mile per hour winds, we know that it's not going to be a quick repair unless there's no branches down on those lines and they can be just switched back on. But remember that the power crews won't go up in the air with 30 or 35 plus mile per hour winds. And we are talking about in this severe thunderstorm warning that we are under, that we are seeing on average. I had it here about 38 mile per hour winds. Let me get that exact for you. And let's see. I know we had the details here. Let me go here. It was about 36 to 38 mile per hour average winds, but gusts up to 80 miles per hour. And this storm, now we have an additional detail from the National Weather Service, this storm is moving at a clip of 60 miles per hour. So it's a fast moving storm. That's good for us. Get it in and out of the area quickly, including all of that lightning and that rain that's out there as well. Once again, it is 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits with live continuous coverage with you. Just want to make sure that we keep updated. We had one comment come in, crazy winds everywhere. And it is when this happens, when we see ourselves go under a tornado watch, that means that those winds are going to come from different directions. Creates that tail effect, that swirl effect, those gaps that come into a storm. And if you really want to see what that looks like, we can zoom out and see the tail right back here of all of that. So when we wake up tomorrow morning and you look at, and we hear Iowa might be in the news, Bismarck, in the North Dakota area in the news, that is going to be probably where they saw some tornadoes potentially touch down in those particular areas. That's where that whip comes back around in those particular spots, or at least the coverage there. Hudson, the radio dog, he is getting a drink of water. I am going to do the same for a moment as we bring you the coverage. But before we do that, I want to make sure that we get that satellite image up for you. And I noticed one thing just a moment ago. And let's see if this is going to affect our listening area. Let's go down into the Newaygo County area. I want to see this. Okay, so at 10:30. So yeah, at about 10:30, look at that. When that breaks up, about 10:40, 10:45, it should be out of Newaygo County or moving out of Newaygo County. Oceana County and Muskegon County, they're going to be the first to clear this. And by the time we get to 10:45, Manistee, you're just going to pretty much see some spitting, I think, with some of those sprinkles. And those winds should subside by that time. Let's see if the NWS, that's the National Weather Service, if they have relieved any sort of these watches or warnings. They have not yet. They have continued to remain in effect. Let me bring up. Let's bring up the Oceana County, the Hart area, with our ticker, and see if we have any anything that we can report that has maybe changed in that area. And let's see, Hart does remain under that severe thunderstorm warning, and they continue to remain under the tornado watch, even though we are going to see that's going to clear up pretty quickly here. All right. Power outages. Let's go to that window for a second. We mentioned that Muskegon, 20,000 without power. Oceana County, 3,000. Newaygo, 1,000 without power. When we look at, and this is outside of the listening area, but I want to concentrate just for a moment on Baraga. Baraga. I got to remember that that county right here, let's see, nope, where were you? Right here, got hit pretty hard. 50% of that county, and there it is, that system came right through there. That county, 50% of the residents without power there. This tip right over here of the UP, the northwestern corner, almost just over 1,000 without power there. So the UP getting quite a bit hit. Nothing else. Grand Traverse, that's going to come in at about 10:50 this evening, and maybe we'll see some power outages there. But you can see that this storm system, if you're watching online with our live coverage, that'll disappear here in the next 30 to 45 minutes. It is 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. Chris here with you. It's about 10:30. And we posted earlier this afternoon that you could expect severe weather. And we are seeing that come through. And, there's been a lot of photographs of the lightning. I'm sure there's going to be some really amazing photos that come from this. But of course, whenever there is a tornado watch that is attached to it, you always want to make sure that you do that checklist. Have your first aid and severe weather kit near you. Have that some bottles of water, some snacks, an emergency plan. What are you going to do when something happens, or if they do say that we have a tornado? What do you do at that time? Well, you want to make sure that you have that plan in place. And just remember that there is a ton of resources out there that will help you put that plan in place. Local fire departments and other agencies, if you have questions, they have answers. They'll be able to say, okay, this is your safest room in your home. If you don't have a basement, here's the alternative for you. Make sure you know this information before we get to the next storm that comes through that might be more severe. When those in Gaylord that had the tornado a couple of years ago, when that came through, they were probably thinking the same thing. You know what? It'll never happen here. We're okay. It can happen at any time, and you want to be prepared. Make sure that you have those resources available to you, and that you're adhering to the notifications through the local radio stations like us, TV stations like 9 and 10. If you're on the northern side of the listening area, Wood TV8, ZZM, Fox, those to make sure that that information is taken seriously, even if, and and I grew up in northern Michigan, live here in West Michigan, we're pretty tough. We think that nothing's going to happen, but sometimes it does, and we just want to be prepared for all those moments. We are still in the watches and warning time period here. A thunderstorm warning that remains in effect for the next. Let's see, it's about 13 minutes from now. That should expire from Manistee down to down to basically it should be the edge of the state. That should expire here at 10:45. The tornado watch remains in effect until 3 a.m. if you're just joining us. And we had that marine warning, which I hope there's nobody out on Lake Michigan or any of the lakes right now. That's in effect until 11:15 p.m. tonight, with expecting of waves that, let's see, 50 knots in regards to winds. And that will create, let's see, wave action. Let's see what we have. Well, I mean, it's waves that will obviously capsize a small vessel, and so we hope nobody is out on that on a lake. But they said that wind gusts in excess of 50 knots and large hail. We have had reports, and we have our ticker that we confirm this with is that 3/4 inch hail has fallen from this storm. That's incredible. Incredible. The comments we've got, and Audrey asks, is Ludington out of danger for the tornado? I would say this, until the National Weather Service issues an expiration, that we don't we don't say that you're out of danger there. We want to make sure that we are able to provide that information until that expiration takes place. Let me see what we. I'm gonna try to see if I can search our ticker a little bit and see what we have. Let's see what we've got. So we have, at least in the Kent County area. So just a moment ago, our tornado watch went to a tornado warning, and meaning that individuals should take shelter in the Kent County area. Now we feel like we are safe where we are at here at this point, but we are seeing lightning continue outside. But in the Kent County area, that watch has been upgraded to a warning. Let's see. Just want to, we're getting a little bit of information here and there, and I want to make sure. Let's see. We have, let's see, been asked about the Crystal Carson City area. So let's bring in, let's do that and see if we can give you a little bit of information there in regards to this system. And that's, that's the Greenville area here. That is still going to see some of this system come through, but by the time it gets, Carson City's on the other side, right over here. Carson City, we can zoom down a little bit more, and we should see it pop up. There it is, and that we'll see that system probably be pretty much diminished by that point there. Oh, let's see. We have now some warnings, some tornado warnings throughout the state of Michigan. Not in our particular area at this point. I'm going to see if we can break that down for you. Bear with me for just a second, and see if we have any updates there. When we are looking at, and I know I want to bring up this alert system here. And we'll activate our radar so that you can watch this move through the area. Let's zoom down so that you can see, and we'll bring it into real time at this point. And right there. Okay. So let's show that. And we will pause this at the current time, which is 10:37. So let's see, 10:40. Okay. So Ludington's still not necessarily out of the woods, especially when we see some whipping like this. When we see some holes that create, we want to make sure that we just wait till that completely moves through the area. But right now you can see this, the intensity in the Wexford County area. There's Montcalm County, Kent County, and the Rockford area. It's starting to move out of Newaygo County. Muskegon looks pretty clear. Oceana County is going to clear up here in roughly the next 15 minutes or so. And so for those in Mason County, that are asking, hey, when can we feel completely safe? You're looking at about 11:15 at the latest, just a little bit of edge of Mason County. For Manistee County, when will you be completely out of the woods in regards to this system? At about midnight, right about that, will be out of the edge there. But Manistee, the city of Manistee, pretty much, let's see, at 11:10 roughly. So in the next 20 minutes, we should see that. I want to look at one of our alert systems and see a couple of things here so that I can share with you this evening. So a few counties have gone from a watch to a warning across the state. That is portions of Kent County, the south side of Kent County, south side of Ottawa County, north side, just the northern tip of Kent County, and it would be shoot, I'm got to get that county. Let me bear with me. I will get that. Let's see. This would be Montcalm County. So a bit of Montcalm County has gone from a watch to a warning from the National Weather Service, and that gives us a good indicator that there probably is some tornado activity in those particular areas as it moves from a watch to a warning in those particular areas. Nothing has moved from a watch to a warning in the Ludington area, in the Pentwater, Hart, Muskegon area, in Lake County and Manistee County. That remains still under a watch for the time being. And again, I should tell you that I don't expect this to last past midnight in our immediate listening area, which we include Denton County, Manistee, Lake, Oceana County, even Oceana County. Let's put the time lapse on that. And there's the edges right here of Lake County, and by midnight it is pretty much entering Mecosta County, and in the Wexford, it'll remain in the Wexford County area. So we're going to be out of the woods here in about roughly about an hour for the majority of the listening area. Again, putting this system in motion, you can see how large it is as it moves across the state of Michigan. Jordan has asked if Grand Rapids. So if you are in the Grand Rapids area, you should immediately take shelter. There is a tornado warning that is in effect for portions of Kent County. And Jordan, I know you just commented about a minute ago in regards to that. So just know that if you are in Kent County within the last 10 minutes, a tornado watch has been upgraded to a tornado warning. And so we want to make sure that you know that you should be taking shelter at this time if you are in the southern part of Kent County, the northeastern part of Kent County, the western part of Montcalm County. If you are in the southern part of Ottawa County, you should be taking shelter at this time because that has changed from a watch to a warning in those particular areas. So please do that at this time. Shelby just mentioned that the Hart area seems to be passing through. Yes, we're definitely seeing that, and that's good. This system has been moving at about a 60-mile-per-hour clip. So think about that for a moment. You know, if you're driving on the highway and you're driving at 60 miles per hour, you're making pretty good distance in a short amount of time. And with how skinny the system is, you're going to see it move out of the area. You can see that on your screen right now as we focus on what's happening out there. Let's get you up to speed on any expiration of these watches and warnings. The tornado watch remains in effect until 3. We are getting some crazy weather right now outside of our studios. I want you to know that. We have the wind that is coming through and strong rain passing by at our studios here in the Grand Rapids area, but we've got team coverage and updates throughout the listening area. These winds upwards of 80 miles per hour that are passing through. And let me bring back that radar here and show you this system. Now we are approaching the 10:45 mark. We're going to see if the National Weather Service continues this warning or if it's going to let it expire. We're going to know that here in a moment. All right, we are, let me see, I'm just getting some updates from our team. Let's just make sure that we're able to give you this information. Okay. So again, strong winds, 80 mile per hour gusts, penny size hail in many cases, roughly 3/4 of an inch, 100% reported. Okay. Hail has been a part of this system. We have unconfirmed reports that a tornado was spotted in the Hesperia area earlier this evening. Not right now. I want to make sure that that is clear. But again, nothing that, I mean, we would know, an alert would show up on our system if there was something that was for a take shelter moment. And we will probably, when we get past this, have some reports that come out. Sometimes it takes 24 hours. Sometimes it takes a couple of days for the National Weather Service and others to be able to look at all of the models and all of what happened and say, oh, yep, there was some activity that happened there. If there's no damage, then, you know, it's tough to be able to assess that. But sometimes they can look at, okay, what happened in the atmospheric part of things and be able to give us some information on that. If you are just joining us, we are live here on 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. Audrey is asked about Grand Rapids just a moment ago. Same thing that we gave information in regards to Jordan. If you are in the Kent County area, you are to take shelter immediately, as that has been upgraded, that tornado watch to a warning with very strong winds expected, rain, and the potential for tornadoes. That's not only in the southern part of Kent County, but Ottawa County as well. As for the Mom FM and Hot Country Hits listening area, which we define it as Mason County, Manistee, Lake, Oceana County, a portion of Muskegon County, and a portion of Newaygo County, you can see that it's going to have cleared up by roughly by midnight for sure. But let's see when each county will see most of the clearing. So right there, Muskegon County, pretty much, other than maybe just a little bit of the eastern side of Muskegon County. Oceana County, same sort of idea. You are out of the woods in regards to this system, at this point. Mason County, you're going to see that the northeastern tip will be clear at just after 11 p.m., about 11:10. And same thing with the city of Manistee. You're going to be really out of the woods, if not already feeling that right now by 11:10. The entire Manistee County by about midnight or so. That's going to look good. Lake County, which is right here, same sort of idea. We talked about Baldwin getting hit with this storm. Let's see what that time lapse looks like. At 10:30, we saw the Baldwin area with this system pass through about 10:40. It'll last about 10 minutes, and you will be out of the clear in the Baldwin area by about 11 to 11:10 there, and really clear up. You are listening to 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. It is Chris here with you. If you're just joining us, this system was earmarked to reach us this evening as early as this morning, and we have additional information that just came in. So the thunderstorm warning that was in effect for Mason County all the way down has been let to expire. So that severe thunderstorm warning is now expired. It was expected to expire at 10:45. The National Weather Service has expired that, and that includes for Manistee County as well. So if you are in Manistee County and any counties to the south there, you are out of the clear in regards to that severe thunderstorm warning. I want to make a confirmation for Lake County and see where we are at there in regards to. So that severe thunderstorm warning for Lake County, I want to see what time that will expire. All right. So the National Weather Service has expired that for Lake as well. So if you are in Lake County, Newaygo County, Manistee, Mason, Oceana, Muskegon counties, severe thunderstorm warning out of the way. Okay. If you are in the Montcalm County area, Kent County area, Ottawa County area, you should be taking shelter because in the last 15 to 20 minutes, with that weather has those winds have strengthened, and there are more chances of tornadoes in those areas. So please be aware of that. Make sure you are seeking shelter at this time if you live in the Kent County area, Ottawa County area, Montcalm area, especially southern Kent County, southern Ottawa County, and the western part of Montcalm County in that particular area. Let's see where we are at with this storm. We'll put it in motion and see what we are looking at with this. And yeah, it's interesting. Now, I haven't talked about this in the last roughly half hour to an hour, but we have another system that's supposed to come in Friday night. And the Friday night system, we haven't necessarily heard too many details about tornadoes or rain in the sense and such, but we have heard a lot about strong winds. And to the point where the power companies actually put that in their alert today that came out very early, this about midday this morning, where they said that their crews were ready for tonight and what we are seeing. But more importantly, the strong winds or the stronger winds that they are expecting for Friday night. And so just know that we could see a little bit more of this activity. If you're just joining us here on air and online, we have coverage on 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. A lot of people have joined us on our Facebook page. We appreciate that, and taking the time to connect with us there over the last roughly. I think we've been on for about 2 hours, maybe a little bit over. Yeah, about 2 hours or so, 2.5 hours with this coverage. You can guarantee that when we have something that is tornado related in a weather watch or warning, that we will be on air and online to deliver that information to you. We will try to bring you as much information as we can gather. We were gathering information earlier this evening across the lake. It's always good for us to be able to track what is happening over there and communicate with some of our broadcast partners to see what we might receive when it comes across the lake and heads our way. And we never know if it's going to build as it moves across Lake Michigan or if it's going to diminish. This particular system seemed like it was just going to stay its course, and it did. And that's what we are seeing move through pretty much the entire West Michigan, Northwest Michigan area, Southwest Michigan area, and the northwestern part of the UP. The power outages, there's a lot. We can give you a report that the 300 in Oceana County has now been pushed up to nearly 600 without power in Oceana County. In Muskegon County, there's over 21,000 without power. In Newaygo County, 2,100 now reported without power. And for those in Ottawa County that might be tuned into us, you have nearly 18,000 without power in Ottawa County. Manistee reporting nearly 500 without power there. And Mason County, surprisingly, we are reporting just a handful actually without power there. Now, sometimes it takes some time to those systems to kick in and report those numbers. I will tell you this, that as the power crews begin their work, and they're expected to go out as soon as the wind subsides, that they are expected to go out and start working on restoration of that throughout the overnight. That is the report that was given to us, that they said that the crews would begin their work throughout the overnight as soon as that wind subsided. So you might be waking up to power restored in the morning if you are listening to my voice or potentially watching this on your cell phone by the time you wake up in the morning. We don't expect any more storms to affect us throughout the overnight. That's going to give those power crews the ability to get things back on track. They did say that over 500 crews have been dispatched to the state of Michigan to tackle this system that's moving through. I suspect that that the National Weather Service will revise this tornado watch, at least for the counties that we cover with the terrestrial radio side of it. Again, that's Mason, Manistee, Lake, Oceana County, portions of Newaygo, portions of Muskegon County, that will expire just like that severe thunderstorm warning has expired in just the last few minutes. For those that are listening in more southern areas of the state that follow us, such as let me look at a little bit of. Here's an update. Let's see. Oh, but that's still that active update. All right. If you are in southern Kent County, if you are in, let's see. Oh, the Hastings, Middleville area, that particular area, that is an immediate shelter situation right now. If you are in southern Kent County, that is an immediate shelter situation right now. The Montcalm area, that has returned back to a watch in regards to the tornado activity there. I want to look at our ticker and see what we've got. I just let's see what. So we do have definitely some rotation that has been reported in areas like Caledonia, which is from where I'm sitting here in our studios, is only about a 15-minute drive. And so that's certainly makes you a little bit nervous, of course. There is in the state of Michigan a total of 86,000 without power, and we are getting more reports now of power outages. Lake County has now reported 460 plus without power there. Manistee still with about 450 without power. There is nothing affected in Mason County. Surprising that moved around Mason County as it did. Oceana County reporting now 600 without power. Newaygo County over 2,400 without power. Muskegon County more than 21,000 without power in Muskegon County. And it gets worse as you continue down the state of Michigan all the way down to Berrien County. It brings that total to 86,000 without power. But this is the surprising part of this. About 30 minutes ago, we were talking about the UP, and let's look at let's take our radar out and go to the UP. In the Ironwood area, in the Ontonagon area, in this particular zone here, there were power outages. The power crews have started to turn those grids back on already. So that's a plus. So hopefully, again, by the time we wake up in the morning, that consumers, Great Lakes, and others that might have different power and for their utility will see that their power will be restored there. Let's see. We have Alyssa saying it's lightning and thunder and rain. Kind of has calmed down. And we're seeing that a lot in the area. As this has moved on to land, it has diminished a bit. Has it completely, got us out of harm and danger? No, of course not. We're still seeing reports of rotation. Caledonia, there's been a report of earlier rotation about an hour ago that happened in the Hesperia area. Not sure if there was any touchdown in regards to that, but there was certainly some reported there. We have a report that that there was a touchdown in Caledonia. And certainly those that are in southern Kent County, you should remain sheltered in place. Let me see that if that has changed at all. No, it has changed. It is now expanded. So this is what's happening for those that are listening and watching. Let's go down into Caledonia. So our studios on the south side of Grand Rapids, Caledonia. Bring down. Oh, there we go. So this is, let's see, let me go here. We will see this track. Let me not be so close. I guess it'll make sense when we see this move through. Uh, Oops. Let me get a good restart there. Sorry about that. There we go. And let's do a quick refresh so we can bring in the Caledonia area. But we have a confirmation now that that tornado that was spotted in the Caledonia area. And let's bring that map up here so that we can see that for you. Let me share that on our screen. Okay, there and there. So we have that system that moved through. That's probably what's triggering right there, that extension. When we see this particular area here move through Kent County, and now in Ionia County, that tornado watch has been upgraded to a warning. So it's still moving east. Again, Kent County under a tornado warning. Ionia County now under a tornado warning. The watches out there in the Mama FM and Hot Country Hits listing area remain a tornado watch in effect until 3 a.m. Again, I don't expect that to remain that way, because when we look at this system has let's bring it back to real time right now, which is 11:05. So 11:05, and we are almost clear in Mason County. In the next 5 minutes or so, we should be completely clear on all edges of Mason County. That just leaves Manistee County, and Lake County in our Mom FM listening area. Fremont is almost completely clear too, there, as you see. So there shouldn't be any tornado watch that anybody should be nervous about if you are in Mason, Manistee, Lake, Oceana County, Muskegon County at this point with this system. And again, it might take a little bit of time for the National Weather Service to expire that alert. I'm going to go back here and see one thing for us. And we have there is a tornado watch in South Haven and Benton Harbor now. So we might be getting a second wave of that passing through. There's South Haven, Benton Harbor. So again, yeah, we will have, when we wake up tomorrow morning, we're probably going to have some of those reports that there is confirmed that there is some tornadoes that were sighted or touched down, some debris from that. And I'm sure tomorrow morning we will have some of those reports that will come through. It is 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. And we want to make sure that you continue to remain safe out there. And so when we have events like this, we will try to provide you as much information as possible. We have multiple resources from the media standpoint that we can pass on to you. With technology these days, if you have your phone handy, you get those alerts. That watch, that severe thunderstorm warning, that tornado warning alert that will come up, that came up for Kent County and Montcalm and now Ionia County in that. And this system moving at about 60 miles per hour through the listening area, through the West Michigan area. So it is been at a pretty good clip. It's moving pretty fast through. And so if you are stepping outside, if you're in the Mason County or Muskegon area or Oceana County area, and you're like, oh, it looks great, nothing, no issues here. Don't expect anything after that. We aren't reporting anything. And let's just take that out just to give a visual confirmation of that. The only thing is we'll see a kind of a whip of a tail in North Dakota and Iowa. Just there it is right there on your screen. Let me again. We we lose our radar from time to time. I'll get that fixed certainly before we have another batch of severe weather that we report on. We'll make sure that that's good for you. But I want to show you that whip that we don't see affecting us anytime overnight tonight. That this probably will be part of that wind that's expected to come through tomorrow night. There's that. See the rotation out here in the plains, Iowa, North Dakota. When we cover news tomorrow morning, that's when we're going to see some of those reports of tornadoes. But you can see by midnight, this will be in the Houghton Lake area, mid-Michigan area, and out of West Michigan. So you can sleep very well tonight, knowing that there won't be anything additional that passes through. I want to just continue to double check some of the watches and warnings for other areas. So Kent County, just the south eastern part of the county remains under that tornado warning. The southern half of Ionia County now under a tornado warning. The Hastings area, all of that area, and even into the Kalamazoo area, under a tornado warning. We mentioned this multiple times during our coverage tonight that the forecasters were talking about, and let me zoom into the southern state. They had mentioned in this particular area that there was a high chance of tornadoes. That's exactly what they're seeing right now, with that watch being upgraded to a warning in those particular areas. So please, if you receive that notification over your cell phone, over your radio, over your television, please adhere to that. There has been reports of tornadic activity throughout the state, throughout this area. Now reported a tornado in the Kalamazoo area. So please, if you are under a tornado warning, take shelter immediately. This is the time to do that. If you are in the Hastings area, let me go down in the map here. And you can see this is the area we're talking about in the Hastings area. They're also talking about the Kalamazoo and Marshall area. Let's look at that system pass through here. So here's that system right here, moving through the Kalamazoo area and north towards Hastings, into Charlotte, Grand Ledge, and on. So if you are in that area, it is time to take shelter immediately. We continue our coverage here on 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. It is Chris here with you, and we are seeing at least the immediate Mom FM and Hot Country Hits listening area clear of this storm. And that is the counties of Muskegon, Oceana. We are going to see Lake County here shortly, Mason County, and a good portion of Manistee County. There is, if you're just watching, that is where we are at pretty much in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So you can see Newaygo is going to be in the clear. Lake County, you're just going to see some sprinkles from time to time. That green, just going to be a little bit of spitting, and those winds will start to subside as well. We had 70-mile-per-hour winds on the other side of Lake Michigan. We had 80-mile-per-hour winds forecasted on this side of Lake Michigan. And so this system was certainly it had a lot of wind behind it, a lot of momentum as it went through. It is 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. We're going to, here in short order, wrap up our coverage for the listening area. For those that are outside of the listening area, that remain under those warnings, as we mentioned just a few minutes ago, we encourage you to tune into your local broadcast outlets to be able to keep your phone nearby and charged for any of sort of those notifications and alerts. But we're seeing that the listening area, the Mom FM and Hot Country Hits listening area, as we mentioned, which is our coverage and our service area from the radio station standpoint, is now in a safer place than it was just about an hour and a half ago, as we see this system move through the state. Now, power outages, they remain. The power crews are going to probably be tackling a lot of this overnight. We can report that now that we see the chart updated, that there is even more within the immediate listening area that remains without power. Here is a full breakdown for you, since we do have a lot of listeners and a lot of viewers outside of the listening area. Let's start with Manistee County and move our way down. Manistee County with nearly 500 without power there. So just a small portion of the county. There's about 18 to 19,000 that have power as a utility there. Mason County, we are calling at 0 without power. Surprisingly, nobody without power in the Mason County area. That is not the same in Lake County, nearly 700 without power in Lake County right now. And we could see that increase a little bit as it continues to move through Lake County. In addition, we let me look at just a couple more here. Oceana County, 600 without power. Newaygo County, there is nearly 2,700 without power in Newaygo County. And obviously, we have a lot of forest. That's going to give a little bit of a challenge to the power crews in regards to restoration. So please be patient in regards to that. We will connect with our Consumers Power team and in the morning and see what they have. Actually, I'm going to do a quick message here and see who is on call tonight. Muskegon, 21,000 without power there. That is about a quarter of the county without power. 18,000 in Ottawa County, about 10,000 in Kent County. As we go into Allegan, nearly 13,000 there. Van Buren is 7,000. In Kalamazoo County, almost 18,000 without power, and a reported spotted of tornado in Kalamazoo County. Barry County remains under that tornado warning right now. And let's look at let's see if anything has expired. Again, we're waiting just for a moment or two to see if the National Weather Service will expire that tornado watch. And they have it set till 3 a.m. So we're going to, for those that are asking, are we A-OK for the 3 a.m.? The answer would be we, from a media standpoint, wait till the National Weather Service gives that all clear. That's a good indication, and that's not only from the media standpoint, but from the law enforcement standpoint and the first responder standpoint. The National Weather Service is the lead on that. If it's a television station or a radio station or alert system, they'll receive that information. And there's multiple National Weather Service offices in the state of Michigan, Grand Rapids, Gaylord, and other areas that with the Doppler radars that are out there, with all of the technology that they have both in the sky and on the ground, that they're going to be able to assess that. And sometimes they want to make sure that they play it more on the safer side, depending on how quickly this system does move through the area, and if there is anything that is generated behind it that might pass through. We are in our third hour, I believe, at this point of live coverage. And Jessica there giving us an update. She says Wexford County is starting to get hit. And she says, fabulous, love it. I think that's the comment, that she likes the weather. And if that's the case, please be safe in all indications. Okay, please make sure that that you are safe, because when we do look at this, and let's do that right now, real quick, before we start to wrap up our live coverage here. If you see some of those purples, like right here, and that was at about 10:50, so that was 30 minutes ago, and that is Wexford, right? Yeah, that's Wexford. Yeah, Wexford County. Just the southern part of Wexford County, that you're going to see there in Luther, and just north of Luther, that was just 30 minutes ago. Let's see how that plays out, and see that's going to move into the Cadillac area. Let's see what time the highest concentration. So there's Cadillac right there at about 11:15. So about 10 minutes, about 6 minutes ago, the highest concentration of this storm system moving through the Cadillac area. See how this has been moving to a northeastern track, and all of this area here very much clear, and should be all clear by midnight. Cadillac just after midnight, it looks like about 12:30. You will be in the clear there. It is 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. We want to make sure that whenever you have severe weather, that you see any sort of those alerts or warnings, that you can count on us, both on air and online, to be able to give you information to help you determine if you need to seek shelter. But always be prepared. And if you weren't prepared and nothing happened this time, well, good for you. Or I mean, if you were prepared, and good for you. Yes. If you weren't, don't let that next time be the time that something could happen and you're stuck. So make that checklist tomorrow. Do us a favor, make the checklist, talk with your family members, and say, what do we need to do? What's our plan if something were to happen? And I think you'll be in better shape to get through anything as we move forward. Uh, Gaylord, as we mentioned a couple of times tonight, still recovering, still recovering. Years later from that tornado there. It is Chris here on 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. I'm going to retire for the night, and it seems like I can now move out to my vehicle, head home, to be able to get some rest and be on the air at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning with you on the Morning Zoo. It is going to be a Friday here in just about 30 minutes or so. And if anything does change with these systems, we will again be ready to report that to you. Just remember that Friday night we are expecting some stronger winds, and so we could see some additional power outages. We will get you up to speed tomorrow morning on any tornado damage across the state of Michigan with our news team. And so please keep it locked here to 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. We appreciate you chiming in on our social media channels and taking the time to connect with us. We appreciate all of the listener family partnership out there, and it is. If you see something out there that is something that we can report that weather related will help others, then we certainly will. We'll do that. It is 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9. Let's get the 11 o'clock underway on both of our radio stations. So we'll get that teed up for you. And then we will connect with you coming up tomorrow morning. So it is 102.7 Mom FM, Hot Country Hits 99.9. And we will say good night for the radio side of things. And for our online listeners, let's see, there we go. And there we go. For our online listeners, we appreciate you taking the time to be safe. I think that's the first thing I would say. And of course, for continuing to watch and listen. And we will continue to make sure that we deliver this information on all of our channels, digitally and over the air, whenever there is information to pass on to you. It's 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits